Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now June 13th of 2022, and we're only getting closer to the official release of Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 5, and especially Obi-Wan Kenobi Episode 6, which by the way is going to be the season finale of the show. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about Disney Star Wars and how Lucasfilm is operating with all of these new shows coming out that will be announced on Disney Plus Day and of course at D23, a lot of things are being done at the same exact time. Now, we already know that Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen have been talking a lot more about the Kenobi TV show and exactly how much they were involved in the series and how long it took for them to really kind of get the ball rolling on this show. You know, they really did have a lot of problems with production. First it was a movie, then it was a TV show, then that got canceled, then it was back on production and back on schedule. It was a back and forth mess, to be honest. Now, with that being said, however, there's a lot of fans out there that have been raising a lot of criticism over a lot of key choices in the Kenobi TV series. Now, we've gone over this of how there's a lot of canon pieces that a lot of fans would like to call canon breaking. There's also a lot of fans out there that would like to debate that it's not so canon breaking after all. And we're going to actually dive into this a little bit more and what Jon Favreau had to say about everything related to how the fans are reacting to canon breaking as a situation for the Kenobi TV show and what he had to say about all of that. But before I get to that, one thing I do want to point out here is that Joby actually talked about this just the other day, the writer of the Kenobi series, and denied any kind of canon breaking decisions that were made in the Kenobi series. He believes that not one shred of canon was broken. So do you guys disagree or agree with that? Overall, let me, focus on Jon Favreau here, because this is a guy that really cares about the fans. Now, currently Jon Favreau is working hard and around the clock on multiple Star Wars projects, such as Mando Season 3 and 4, as well as Ahsoka with Dave Filoni and a handful of other shows that are about to be announced. However, in a recent interview with Jon Favreau, he went on to respond to the Kenobi TV series and how the fans believe the series is breaking canon. Favreau went on to state the following: "Look, respecting the canon is always something a creator needs to be aware of and to stick to their word of not breaking canon and said canon in a project that they work on. I don't care if it's minor or major, breaking canon is breaking canon, and that needs to be avoided at all times. About the Kenobi series, the one thing that I would have changed was to keep the fact that Kenobi knew that Vader was alive. You see, when you watch Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, there is a moment when Kenobi and Yoda are examining the hologram of Anakin Skywalker rising as Darth Vader and getting that title for the first time and knowing that he's Darth Vader. The problem that I have with that choice to make it, of course, in the Kenobi series that he never knew Vader survived Mustafar and the lava was how his name has not been reached across the galaxy. And of course through the sands of Tatooine as well, that holds many smugglers and bounty hunters working for Vader. Surely Kenobi would have heard of Vader in 10 years. Now, sure, in canon, such as looking into the comics, Vader wasn't so well known throughout the galaxy until everything was getting closer to where we were in Rebels. But still, casual fans and even new fans that are just getting into all of this don't really know this as a fact, and especially some of the fans who watch these films and shows religiously, but don't necessarily read the comics. I think that we need to create a better balance of how we use canon. So, with this series, many may see this as a piece of breaking canon. Others may see this as Joby adapting minor canon facts that is established already in the comics. So let me just stop right here for 1 second. It's a very interesting thing that Jon Favreau brings up. Now, he's not really going against Joby Harold, when he's not really going against the fans, he's kind of just spitting out the facts here, right? So let's examine this real quick before we move on to the next thing of what Jon says. Now, the biggest problem that a lot of fans have right now is how Kenobi was surprised when Reva told him that Anakin Skywalker is alive, aka Darth Vader. And the reason why a lot of fans did not like that was because, well, a lot of fans automatically assume, and it seems as so, that Darth Vader is very well known throughout the entire galaxy, alright? And that Kenobi should have known about Vader's existence, of how he survived after their duel on Mustafar. That's the thing, alright? But if you look into the comics, if you guys have read the comics by Disney, it is established, Jon Favreau is right, that Darth Vader isn't necessarily super well known across the entire galaxy. So, it's very possible that Kenobi being on Tatooine and all, and shutting himself off from the Force, and isolating himself, and sticking to a small group of people, that he would never have known that Vader survived. That's Joby Harold's defense. But the thing that Jon Favreau has a problem with is that this is Tatooine. This is the home of where a lot of smugglers go to, a lot of bounty hunters go to, and by word of mouth, you would think that in 10 years, there would have been one little mention of Darth Vader surviving at least once. And we already know that Kenobi works on that meat line, right? He has been working there for a very long time. That's his job, to get credits and live a normal life. So, moving from all of this, alright, so he goes on to say, but myself and Dave, we like to do things differently. We would never look at anything major like that and turn it around best on a minor canon piece, such as like how Vader wasn't so known across the galaxy. So if there was one thing I would have changed with Kenobi, it would be that Kenobi always knew Vader was alive this entire time. But I try to respect the writers and directors trying to create shock value and their vision of Star Wars, but hey, I just like to do things my way, and it seems to work well with the community. Myself and Dave are very excited to show fans of what's to come for Mando 3 and 4, and we are also excited to work with great talent joining this massive universe. But to just say one more thing, I know it's a tough thing to decide on whether or not this is basically breaking canon or not. It really seems to be in a gray area, if I had to be very direct with everybody. I hope everyone doesn't overreact much to the Kenobi series. I love Deborah Chow, and she is working with us on Mando 4 as we speak. So, let me just point one more thing out here about Jon Favreau, is that he is making it clear that Deborah Chow is a good director, and I gotta admit, she does pretty good directing. I think the most part to blame here with the Kenobi series has a lot to do with the writing, the dialogue, the choices of how the scenes flow, the decisions that these characters make at times. That's a lot, and mainly weighed in on the actual writer. Now the director, Deborah Chow, I mean, she does a good job with the shots, she does a good job with the, you know, the overall decisions of how the angles are being done, and the cinematography at times. Of course, the editing, though. The editors of this series, not so great. You know, I think that in episode 4, the editing was horrible. That's just my take on things. I think that some of the writing in this movie, or should I say series, was very much comical. The thing that really got me was when Kenobi's hiding Leia under his coat on Nur when he's trying to escape with Tala. That came straight out of a comedy movie. I don't know about you guys, but that reminded me of something like with Austin Powers, where Mini-Me is under his medical coat. I don't know if you guys remember that. Go ahead and look it up. It's quite hilarious. That's what that reminded me of, and that's what everyone's creating memes over. So overall, guys, you know, let me know what you guys have to say about what Jon said here about Kenobi and the breaking canon situation. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon, we hear them moans again.